Today I'm going to be sharing with you my review of the Adidas Adizero Boston 9. This has been a trusty shoe of my marathon training, and I've done 250 kilometers in them. I had no previous experience of running in the Boston series before. I have run in the ADIOS 𝘼𝙬 and the carbon-plated Adizero Pro. So how this shoe differs from those, I'm going to get into. How I liked it, what I didn't like about it, would I recommend it, and what would we use it for. I paid for it myself, I review it, my own honest opinions, and well, a little bit of a sneak inside to it. I actually really like it. You can buy this shoe online at Running Warehouse for 120 euros on sale at the moment. I think roughly, generally it retails 140. Well, you won't be buying this shoe, this is mine. Unless you want to get a piece of Running with Marc memorabilia, then leave a comment down below and we can auction it off. Just joking, I really like the shoe, I wouldn't do that. So I bought this shoe probably 3 months ago, and it was kind of brought into rotation for my marathon training. And I'll let you know, I didn't actually want this colorway, but I picked it because it was the cheaper one. I'm like that. Sometimes it's not about the color and the style. If you can get 20 euros discount, then why not get the cheaper pair? And actually, I've ended up really liking the colorway. And the Boston 9s have a 10mm drop, so that is 10mm higher in the heel than it is in the forefoot, and it's 26mm in the heel and 16 in the forefoot. And for midsole wise, it's obviously got the Adidas Prime, famed known Adidas Boost, and also does have light strike. So in the midsole it's kind of layered. The first layering that your foot kind of sits on is light strike, and then underneath that it has the boost all the way from the heel through to like the ball of the foot area. And then without any question of doubt, Adidas Adizero line have the continental grip. And those three things like put together, especially in this shoe, I think are really nice. I will also add that it does have this plastic torsion plate that runs through like the midfoot area, so it adds a little bit of rigidity and also helps avoiding too much of movement within that shoe. So that's actually really nice as well. And then upper ring, we've got a nice like mesh upper ring. It's not like the Cellar mesh that you have in the Adios Pros and the Adizero Pros, nor is it like the one that you have in the ADIOS 𝘼𝙬s. But the upper is maybe like a dual layered upper, but it's not that bad, maybe a little bit more warmer than the other ones. But as you can see also on the sides, it does have that Cellar mesh material as well. According to most places, the shoe in a size 9 comes in around 240 grams. To be honest, not too heavy, not too light, but I think it does a great job. This shoe, I think if you watch a lot of reviews or have read a lot of reviews, that it's kind of like marketed almost as like a tempo running shoe, or like when you're doing an interval session or something. I personally would be able to do a long run in this. That's only because maybe I've been running a little bit more in like the ADIOS 𝘼𝙬s and enjoying that, and also trying to stay away from like a heavy cushioned shoe like the Hoka shoes. But this one it has a nice balance between being 16mm at the forefoot from the ground, but also having this nice cushioning of the boost. Whereas we look at maybe some of those other shoes like in the high stacked heights of Olympus, in Ultra, I think it's something like 30mm. So it's a big drastic difference. So let's go through some of the things that I like and dislike about this shoe. Okay, I did try and do that probably like 10 times. Like, a dislike, dislike, and as I mentioned before, that I really like the fact that we're still close to the ground, we're not like too far off of it, and that there is enough cushioning. The reason why I like that is because I think the way that shoes are going these days are that we forget to feel where we're striking and where we're landing and what our gait cycle is like. And a shoe like this, yes, it offers some protection with this boost, but it also keeps you kind of, you understand where you're striking with your foot. And with a shoe like this, you are meant to strike, and I think in general, meant to strike in the midfoot to forefoot area. The Adizero range has really helped me in that transition from heel striking, and look, I'm nowhere near perfect, but this shoe, with these reasons which I've just said, I believe have helped me. It might sound like a real funny thing to mention, but there are 8 lace holes, including the runner's knot hole as well, so that's 8. And that really helps you to adjust and get a good secure lockdown across that midfoot and make sure that your foot is not moving around, and I really like that. I've just been trying the Salomon S-Lab Phantasm and they've only got 3. It becomes a little bit more tricky. So the fact that here, I just love the way that Adidas do the lacing, and I can always get a really tight lockdown. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the way that the laces are done the opposite way around, but it really does help. And if you have a foot that stays in the right place, that's only a good thing. So, you know, major kudos to Adidas on those things. I really do like the way they do their lacing system. That being said, it does have a gusseted tongue as well, and it's super nice. It's, you know, like most days, I think it's pretty standard. However, one thing I've been having a little bit of a problem with, which is really weird because this is exactly the same kind of tongue as in the Adios 5s, and in the Boston 9 on the left shoe I have no problem, but my right shoe I get a little bit of folding over here on the inner part, and if I don't pull the tongue up when I put my shoe on and twist it a bit to the right, it'll crease over and press onto my foot, and if I'm doing a long run that can actually cause a little bit of pain. But I do know if I pull it and twist it, and then when I tie my shoelaces, everything's fine. So I don't know if there's just something maybe a little bit faulty with this shoe, or that I've let it crumpled up, whatever it may be, just something to pay attention to. I think the Adizero line and quite a lot of Adidas shoes are very well revered for the fact that they have this. Yes, the continental rubber outsole. And the great thing about the Boston is that it goes, you know, all the way from the heel to the toe, and that probably adds to the weight of the shoe. But it's really nice, and I think it's really good on like gravel roads, on asphalt, on the track, treadmill. I've done all types of workouts on different surfaces, intervals, easy days, long days, and yeah, it's pretty durable as well, I'd go to say. I also don't feel any compression within the midsole materials, be it the Light Strike or the Boost. I mean, not that I can tell the difference between them, but I don't feel any compression or any difference between when I got them out of the box to now. And when you go for a run and you're doing like a tempo, a threshold, some intervals, steady, easy pace, whatever it may be, it feels super nice to run a little bit faster in these, you know, faster than your easy pace. It is so nice to run in this, and that feeling that when you're running easy but fast is super nice, and this shoe helps to contribute with that kind of like type of run for me. I can remember once thinking, you know, like, oh, you can do any type of run in any different shoe, and you know, that is true as well, but there are some shoes that just perform better when you're doing different types of workouts. And although I do also really enjoy running my easy runs, when you just run fast in this, it just feels nice. One thing that could be a little bit of a problem for some people is, like, I've got a little bit of a narrow, well, I don't have a narrow foot, but I don't have a wide foot, let's say. So, you know, it may be an issue to some people that it might be a little bit too tight around that midfoot area. So I think, you know, really get down to your local running store or something and try them on. You know, don't just say, okay, Marc said or such and such said that it's fine, it's fine. Always best to try it on your shoes before. One thing I am going to call out on the shoe, it's not the shoe itself, but the brand, Adidas. I was a little bit disappointed that, you know, I think this shoe was released last year in the USA, and it took so long for them to get it over here in Europe, and I don't know if that's because it was released for the Boston Marathon there or something, but you know, it took so long for it to become available in Europe, and I was really excited and really wanted to try this, and you could see people in the US running in it, and I just don't like it when brands do that in general, that they release something somewhere and then somewhere else has to wait. It's kind of, you know, like against all that equality and everything. First world problems of, you know, having to wait for a shoe or something, but you know, I think it's nowadays we should be making things available across the globe so that everybody can have fun in the same shoe. So I've been sitting here for a while trying to think, what don't I like about this shoe? And, you know, I can't really think of anything. Maybe it's because it's my running style, the running that I'm doing. I just really enjoy running in this. In this running shoe era, we are going through shoes that have got, you know, super high stack heights, lots of cushioning, nylon plates, carbon plates and everything. And this shoe, I think, just runs to like true to what running is probably about. It's just a running shoe. There's no carbon plate, there's no nylon plate. It just is comfy, it gets you running, and it feels good when you run. So yeah, those have been my thoughts and feelings of the Adidas Adizero Boston 9s. I've done 250 kilometers. I'm going to continue running them, and if I find some more good deals on these shoes, I'm going to be buying some for future runs. Have you run in these? If you got any comments or questions, you can leave them down below. Always really happy to communicate and interact with all of you. With all that being said, I'm going to head out for a run, yes, in these. If you're not subscribed, you know what to do.